This is a live presentation of the Ticats Audio Network. Are you ready? Ticats football is on the air.
Touchdown, Tiger-Cats! Caught it! It's a touchdown!
Number 17, Luke Tasker, what a catch!
Now the voice of the Tiger-Cats. Here is RJ Broadhead with analyst Luke Tasker.
Good evening. Great to have you join us for the home opener of the Hamilton Tiger-Cats, the last team in the CFL to play a home game. Tim Hortons Field is rocking. The fireworks have just gone off. The smoke wafting in the air, and surprisingly, not a lot of wind at Tim Hortons Field. We won't see that many times this season. The lights are on. It's an overcast day. There's been a bit of a mist. I think it's dry right now, but this is a big game for the Tiger-Cats playing the Montreal Alouettes. Alouettes coming off a bye. Tiger-Cats 0-2 of those first two games on the road. Luke, we've talked a lot about this game and what the Tiger-Cats need to do. How are you feeling about things right now in the home opener?
Well, I feel great. It's a fired up crowd and the building looks great. The fireworks are going off in front of us, but it's not about how I feel today. These guys got to go out and they've got to change a lot of things from what they've done in the first 2 weeks. Matt Schultz is who I'm really excited to watch. Shoot, he came in and he was hot right away in that fourth quarter and did what he needed to do. A lot of it will come to him. Got a lot of transitioning on the offensive line that we're going to have to keep an eye on, but a lot of work and a great night to do it.
Absolutely. We will have kickoff and the coin toss coming up on the Ticats Audio Network. Home opener for the Tiger-Cats. RJ Broadhead, Luke Tasker with you. It will be Matt Schultz, the starting quarterback, and I'm excited to see him and Tim White. Tim White all of a sudden emerged late in that game against Toronto. He caught 3 of his 5 passes for 45 yards, and you go back to last season against Montreal in the regular season, he and Matt Schultz had that enormous game. Schultz passed for over 300 yards. 145 were caught by Tim White, so we'll see if they can keep that chemistry going. Our referee tonight is Justin McInnes, and the teams are meeting at midfield right now for the coin toss. Let's have a listen.
You gonna go here? Is heads. The Tiger Cat logo is tails. Montreal, you're the visiting team. Tails? Tails is a call. Here you go, Abel. It is a tail. You'd like to defer? Montreal, deferred. You like the ball? What side do you guys want? Okay.
So Montreal wins the coin toss.
Hamilton receives. Have a good game.
They defer, and Hamilton will get the ball early. So we'll get to see Matt Schultz. That chemistry, we saw it last year. We saw it a little bit late in that game against Toronto, and it's something that seems to be hard to find now, where a quarterback and a receiver are just on the same page all the time. But we've seen it already in brief doses with Schultz and White. Do you think it's an actual thing that we might see tonight?
Yeah, I really hope so. And, sometimes you can go in sort of spells as a receiver and a quarterback where you'll have a quarter where, your 2 or 3 drives in that quarter, you connect on each one of them. You really got rhythm going. You're kind of into the flow. Sometimes you go for a whole half of a football game. You haven't touched the ball as a receiver. And you got to be ready for that one moment or that one play when your name gets called. And Tim White, we just haven't seen as much from him as we would like to this season. And there's a lot that goes into that. It is not just, Bo Levi Mitchell or Matt Schultz. Matt Schultz being able to find him in the moment. It's about protection. It's about the scheme, and it's about how the defense is responding to, a guy who is an East Division All-Star or an All-Star and in Tim White, and identifying him as a real threat. And so one of these games, though, you got to think that Tim White, we're going to have to see him with more production than he's found in the first 2 games.
Pigskin Pete did his Oski Wee Wee on the field, got the crowd fired up. Finally a home game at Tim Hortons Field. We know the last game of the CFL season will be played at Tim Hortons Field. Hamilton is the host of the Grey Cup this season, and the Tiger-Cats want to be in that game. Tiger-Cats tonight are wearing the gold pants with the black tops and the gold numbers. They haven't worn these uniforms since Labor Day of last season. They've got them on, and they are the traditional Ticats colors. Montreal will be the blue pants, Red Sox, white tops, and blue helmets. Montreal coming off a victory against Ottawa. Ottawa turned the ball over 5 times in that game, only managed to score 12 points. Montreal has not allowed a touchdown, and they had that bye week last week to analyze the Tiger Cats, but so many injuries on the Tiger Cats, I don't know how well they can analyze the Ticats from the tape they got.
Yeah, you're right, and certainly the same is true in the other fashion, just because there's not been much tape at all with Montreal as far as the Ticats prep goes. But one thing's for certain, we're going to see some pressure into Matt Schiltz's face here tonight with an offensive line that's gone through a lot of change and a lot of injury already, and a quarterback that is coming in and taking over for Bo Levi Mitchell.
7:38, about ready for kickoff. David Cote, the kicker for the Montreal Alouettes, has the ball on the tee at the Montreal 30. The wind negligible, not a factor at least at this point, and there's a 30% chance of precipitation in this game. Under the lights at Tim Hortons Field, home opener for the Tiger Cats. Lawrence Woods catches the kickoff at his own 20. He crosses the 30 and then runs into a pile of Alouettes at about the 32, maybe the 33-yard line.
Good coverage there from Montreal's opening kickoff of the game. I mean, Lawrence Woods caught it and tried to get some speed going, but he had to break stride pretty quick and was looking at a wall of players. Matt Schiltz is going to start here on his 32, and here we go. We'll see what they look like.
Matt Schiltz, terrific in just over 6 minutes of play against the Argos. 13 of 14, 118 yards passing. He threw a touchdown. He threw a 2-point convert and wants to continue that success. Schiltz wears number 18. He's got the tinted visor. High snap, fakes the pitch to Butler. Now he's back to pass, and he's going deep. Tim White has it. He's at the 35, the 30, the 25, makes a move. He's inside the 20. That chemistry between Tim White and Matt Schiltz is on display early with the big play.
Wow, how about that to answer your question just before the kickoff? They found it really quick. Awesome play design. They play action in the backfield. Matt Schiltz moves out of the pocket, and they've got a max protect. And that gives Tim White the time to develop a double move, but he does it 25 yards down the field on a corner post. Well done.
Biggest play of the season for the Tiger Cats, 61 yards. Tiger Cats keep it rolling with an active Green and Ross first down. Now they're on the Montreal 17. Schiltz throwing again. It's a low pass, and it bounces just in front of Terry Godwin. It's incomplete, and Schiltz trying to dry off that throwing hand. There was quite a bit of rain earlier, so the turf likely wet.
Yeah, there was some moisture on the ball. Obviously, it just came out of his thumb, obviously in an unexpected way. Montreal did bring some pressure off the right side, and Schiltz had an answer to his left, but incomplete, too short.
Last week against Toronto, opening play for the Tiger Cats, 3 plays. They didn't get any yards. Here, 2 plays, 61 yards. That was all on the Tim White catch. 61 yards there. It's a 2nd and 10. Matt Schiltz has no one open. He's going to keep. He's across the 10, the 5, and he slides at the 4. And is there a flag? I think the Tiger Cats were thinking there should have been one, but Schiltz took a pretty hard hit. He did slide, and he's inside the 5-yard line. It is a first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Yeah, I mean, it probably should have been a flag there with the way that they're protecting quarterbacks, but great job by Matt Schiltz to decide to tuck it early and not waste any time.
First and goal for the Tiger Cats from the Montreal 4. Schiltz hands off to James Butler, and he stops at the 6, and then the Alouettes were right there, so that's going to be a loss of a couple of yards for the Tiger Cats.
Well, first true running attempt of the game, and we're going to touch on this throughout the night as well, because it really has not been a productive running offense in the first 2 games of the season, and the Ticats have been run against with some success, but they got to put it through the air right now on 2nd and goal on the 5. Let Matt Schiltz make a play to one of his receivers.
James Butler leads the team with 2 touchdowns. 2nd and goal. The ball's on the Montreal 5. Matt Schiltz stomps his right foot, gets the snap. It's an empty backfield, throws to the end zone, and it's just out of the reach of James Butler. He was the intended receiver. It's incomplete.
Well, I like the call. You've got man coverage with 1 high safety. And what happens in that case is James Butler, the running back, he's on Tyrese Beverett, the Will linebacker, man coverage, and he got leverage to the outside, but he had the position they wanted, not enough space to put the ball in there. You got to settle for 3.
This looks like a 13-yarder for Mark Leggio, his second game with the Tiger Cats, his first field goal attempt with the Tiger Cats, and it's a little chip shot, an easy one. Welcome to the Tiger Cats, Mark Leggio, and it's a good opening drive for the Hamilton Tiger Cats in their home opener. They go down the field thanks to a huge play, 61 yards to Tim White. It ends in a field goal. It's 3-0 Tiger Cats. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. An exciting opening drive for the Tiger Cats. Tim White and Matt Schultz hooking up, and it culminates in a Mark Leggio short field goal, 13 yards, 3-0 Tiger Cats. And the Alouettes, they want the Tiger Cats to kick off because they have one of the best returners in Chandler Worthy. Oh, and he dropped it. It hit him right in the numbers. He dropped it. It rolls up to the 20, but he picks it up, and he's able to get some positive yardage out of it. Crosses the 25-yard line. That could have been disastrous for Montreal. It actually looks like it might have been Jeshrin Antwi who wound up trying to catch that kickoff, fumbled it, and then picked it up and got a few yards.
Yeah, it's part of the strategy, the games within games as it goes along too. Of course, you can choose to take the ball on offense after that and start on the 40, but here they lose that 14 yards of field position here on their own 26, the Alouettes.
Oh, it's loud at Tim Hortons Field. They want to see this defense find its groove. There have been some uncharacteristic statistics against this defense. Cody Fajardo, he's going deep on the opening play. Down the right sideline and diving, making the catch. They're saying it is complete. Complete down the field to Keshan Abram.
Well, Kenneth George Jr. was in good position, actually. He was step for step, sort of right in the face there. It was a perfectly placed pass. We're going to see this get challenged right here. There's Coach O.
Oh, yeah. That's, what, about a 10-yard toss of the challenge flag?
That's a great stat. I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Good.
Well,
not too much attitude in that.
yeah, just enough confidence.
Sometimes it's so obvious, I think. I think this does get bobbled on the ground here as the catch is almost made. But Cody Fajardo put that ball really, really perfectly right on the drag strip, those little hashes as the field meets the sidelines, and that allowed for the receiver to separate just by a few feet, because like I said, Kenneth George Jr. he was right there.
Yeah.
But as he stretched out, I think the field helped to complete that pass.
So Justin McInnes, the referee, will get a decision on this coach's challenge from Orlando Steinauer. Would be a 40-yard catch, and they've already announced it was not a catch, so that didn't take very long. Incomplete pass. A long incomplete pass. 2nd and 10, Montreal on their own 26. Fajardo, pressure's coming. He gets rid of it and completes the pass to Keon Julian Grant, who gets across the 35. He's finally brought down, combination of Malik Carney and Lawrence Woods, but he does get the first down. Ticats were all over Fajardo, just missed him by a fraction of a second.
And they brought pressure there. They brought 5, and Fajardo stays calm enough to make that throw out there and takes a shot, but the Ticats need to keep that pressure on. They have not come up with many sacks early in the season.
Simone Lawrence was almost there for the sack. Fajardo got the ball away and created a fresh set of downs. Handoff goes to Williams Standback, and he barrels up the middle. He's up across the 45. He'll be very close to a first down. Well, that was his forward momentum. Now they spot him at the 43. So it's a 2nd and 4 for the Alouettes. They're on their own 43-yard line. Crowd loud, trying to make things difficult for this Montreal offense. Fajardo back to pass, going deep again down the near sideline, and the coverage from Kenneth George Jr. is Perfect. No flags. Ball was intended for Austin Mack, who had a big week 1 for Montreal, but good coverage in that secondary by George.
In week 1 in Winnipeg, Kenneth George Jr., got tripped up twice, ended up on the ground for 2 deep touchdowns with Zach Caleros and his offense. And twice in that first drive, we see Cody Fajardo going deep on Kenneth George Jr. Both times he's in good position, though.
Alouettes in a punting situation, and that means Lawrence Woods gets a chance to do his thing. A couple of dynamic returners in this game. Should be fun to watch. Woods at his own 20, stutter steps, and the Alouettes have him. He got about 5 yards on that return, and the Alouettes stopped him in his tracks. So the Tiger Cats, after a good first drive that ended at a field goal, bring their offense back on the field. We'll see what they can do, leading by 3 when we come back on the Ticats Audio Network. Cats offense with Matt Schultz at quarterback, back on the field. First drive ended up in a Mark Leggio, little chip shot. His first field goal as a Hamilton Tiger Cat. Beautiful evening as it turned out. Pre-game was a little bit rainy at Tim Hortons Field, just overcast. It is humid, but very warm, 19 degrees. That humidity makes it feel a lot warmer than that. Starting this drive, oh boy, from their own 25-yard line, Matt Schultz's pass was knocked down by Tyrese Beverett, the former Ticat, and probably fortunate for the Ticats that it was just knocked down.
Yeah, almost looked like he was going to snatch it and run right for a short, what would have been a short defensive touchdown. It was Duke Williams in the flat. That was the intended receiver, but a tough 2nd and 10 here to start this drive.
Tiger Cats need to convert this 2nd down. It has not been a strong point, but they are fairly deep in their own zone. Schultz stays in the pocket. He is throwing deep. He's got a receiver down the field. It's caught. It is Tim White again. Another massive play. He's inside the 30, and Tim Hortons Field loves it.
The throw was exactly perfect, and I thought Tim White was maybe going to keep his feet and be able to run out of that. He has the speed to separate after, but in making the catch, he kind of lost his footing and is down at the 30 there.
I told you Tim White would have 100 yards receiving. I didn't think he'd do it on 2 catches. Over 100 yards. It's a first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling. Tiger Cats now on the Montreal 31. That's a big 2nd down conversion. Turns the field. Now the Tiger Cats looking at points. Schultz going end zone. Oh. Duke Williams stretched for it, and he just couldn't get it. It was off his fingertips. He stretched as far as he could, but it's incomplete.
Wow, it was so close, and Duke was trying to navigate Montreal. The Montreal secondary and the goalpost was right there. It was a very crowded center field. But man, we're seeing the early makings of a shootout right now. You've got 2 quarterbacks really taking shots and putting the ball in chances that give their receivers, a good shot at a catch.
2nd and 10 from the Montreal 31. Matt Schultz led the team to 3 points on the opening drive. Looking for more here. Throws over the middle, and it's incomplete. Richie Sindani, back after missing the first 2 games, couldn't make the catch.
Well, you take the shot downfield, with maybe a low probability, although not really in this game. The downfield shots are a higher probability maybe.
Yes.
But, and you end up with a 2nd and 10. But Sindani was in position there. He was going to turn upfield for a first down, unfortunately. There's some moisture out there, though. A lot of guys, you can see them wiping their gloves, wiping off on their towels in between plays.
Mark Leggio, his first field goal attempt in this game, 13 yards. This one a little bit longer, 39-yard attempt. Wind is not a factor. The snap from Gordon White, good. The hold by Bailey Flint, good. The kick by Mark Leggio is good. 2 field goals for Mark Leggio, and the Tiger Cats have a 6-0 lead in their home opener at Tim Hortons Field. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. 2 drives for the Tiger Cats, and they've scored points on both of them. 2 Mark Leggio field goals at 6-0 Tiger Cats in the first quarter, and those 6 points are more than the Tiger Cats scored in their first 2 games combined in the opening quarter. They had only scored 4 points in quarter number 1 coming into this game, so a good start for the Tiger Cats. Leggio kicking off, And this time, Chandler Worthy will get it at his own 25. He zips across the 30. He's going to the far side. Tiger Cats with him, stride for stride, and they will keep him short of the 40. Looks like maybe the 36 or 37 on that return by Chandler Worthy. There is a flag on the field.
Block. Montreal, number 24. It's a 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, there you go. Marching back to start the drive. Never fun. I think Tyreek McAllister, the new Ticat, was in there on the tackle, chasing down Chandler Worthy. And you can see Montreal is going to give Chandler Worthy every chance they can to touch the football in this game.
He is one of the best. Both teams will be dangerous on kick and punt returns in this game. But so far, the coverage teams have been good. That's the other part of it.
Yeah, they really have.
When you've got the good returner on your team, you've got a pretty good guy to practice against. Montreal starts this drive from their own 20. Fajardo trying to use hand signals. It's loud at Tim Hortons Field. He keeps this himself, and he won't get to the 20. It's a loss. So this Tiger Cats defense comes up big as the Alouettes try to run against this Tiger Cats defense, and it didn't work.
Yeah, it was a little QB run option to Cody Fajardo's left side. Great job by the Ticats defense. It has not been great against. We've not seen great run stop in the first two games, and that was well played. Chris Edwards causing the first stop of momentum there.
Edwards, you're right, he was the first. Jameer Thurman, who's always around the ball. That's a loss of one. It's 2nd and 11 from their own 19. Fajardo, one step back, throws immediately to his right, completes the pass to Keon Julian Grant. He's got the first down and a little bit more. Finally forced out of bounds by Javian Elliott.
Well, already we've seen Keon Julian Grant dig out of a 2nd and 10. And that's a really hard thing for a D coordinator defense to watch throughout a night. In this first quarter, you got him backed up twice, and there he is on the sidelines. Perfect depth, perfect timing. You've got to break up that rhythm and connection between quarterback and receiver.
Alouettes up to their own 37. Tiger Cats lead the game 6-0. Fajardo fakes a pitch, passes again to Julian Grant, and he cuts into the middle of the field. He will get close to the Montreal 45-yard line, a couple of yards short of the first down.
Wide receiver screen for Montreal to their left side, right in front of the Hamilton sidelines. Nice job. I mean, it's a shifty, it takes perfect timing to make that play work that far out there, and Julian Grant able to get up to a favorable 2nd and 2.
Big second down for this Tiger Cats defense. It's 2nd and 2 on the Alouettes 45. And Standback gets the handoff, and he gets the first down. He's up near the 50-yard line. Tiger Cats' third straight big, strong running back they've gone against. Brady Oliveira, the combination of A.J. Olat and Andrew Harris, and now William Standback. So Alouettes, first down now from their own 49-yard line. They're going from our right to left. Alouettes yet to score. Fajardo fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, throws the ball, and it is broken up by Richard Leonard. Julian Grant, the target again, but Richard Leonard, so consistent in that secondary for the Tiger Cats, makes a good play.
Yeah, and a difficult play. I mean, he was in good position, but he's sort of boxed out from the throw. Julian Grant facing his chest back to Cody Fajardo. And Richard Leonard's behind him, but it's the timing there. You can't be too soon, and of course you can't be too late, but he breaks that up and comes over the top. Really well timed by a really athletic defensive back.
Lots of movement by the Alouettes here on a 2nd and 10 from their own 49. It's a handoff, and going nowhere are the Alouettes on that run. Standback stopped immediately. Jameer Thurman in the middle of things, and this Tiger Cats defense comes up big. Alouettes bring Joseph Zima, their punter, onto the field, and Lawrence Woods will have his chance at a return.
Well, how about that? That set of downs right there. Big pass break up, really well done by Richard Leonard, and then a really heavy run stop, and just well executed, well-rounded defensive effort.
Lawrence Woods standing on his own 12-yard line to return this Zima punt. He'll have to drift to his left, Woods will. He'll get it at his own 14. Cuts to his right. Gets around the first couple of Alouettes. The gunner's coming down the field, and he will be stopped at the Hamilton 25-yard line. Couple of fun offensive drives to watch for the Tiger Cats to begin this game. Just over 2.5 to go in the opening quarter. Offense coming back in the field. You're listening to the Ticats Audio Network. Nice to have you with us. It's 6-0 Tiger Cats. They've scored on their first 2 offensive drives. In fact, it's the first time Hamilton has scored on consecutive drives this season. Can they make it 3 in a row? Just under 2.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. 6-0. Here's a handoff to James Butler, and that's a nice run. He'll be very close to a Tiger Cat first down.
Man, so great to see. So fast to the line of scrimmage. The efficiency in the backfield was really well timed, and you've got a great almost 9-yard gain on first down. We haven't seen a lot of that. Our first down efficiency for the Ticats has really suffered in the first 2 games, especially when you've compared it to their opposing. You know, their opposing team first down average. It's been much less, and 9 yards there. We got an injured Alouette on the field.
That's Avery Williams, who's down at about the Tiger Cat 32-yard line, being looked at by the Alouette training staff. Tiger Cats coming into this game were averaging just under 6 yards on first down. So that's a nice run for James Butler. It'll be an official 8-yard run, so a 2nd and 2 coming up, and Williams looks to be fine. He's jogging off under his own power.
We'll see. You're almost to a short yardage situation here, and we'll see if they do that, and certainly lining up for it.
Matt Schultz, he's been good at this in his career, and I don't think he got it, Luke. It may have looked like he was more concerned about keeping the ball. So maybe it slipped on him with these wet conditions.
So after he got up off the ground there, he's actually using one of the officials' towels around their waist. Matt Schultz was stealing a little dry towel from the official there, and they are struggling with that out there.
So now it's 3rd and just inches, and Schultz again. This is, boy, did he get it? Yes, they're indicating he did get it. Not by much.
He had the initial surge and then got bounced back, didn't he?
The Tiger Cats keep it rolling with an active Green and Ross first down. Yes, Luke, that was just enough.
So that's not an easy play. In fact, we've seen the Ticats defense come up big in both the first 2 games of the season in short yardage stops at times. We've seen it throughout the rest of the league as well. And you got an offensive line that's very young. It's a difficult play to get right.
Kendrick Sartor, his first CFL game. Dayton Black, their first draft pick from this past draft, in his 2nd game. Schultz back to pass. It's a low one, and Felix Garon-Gauthier could not make the catch, and Matt Schultz took a hit. We were just talking about that offensive line. Had to stay in there, threw the ball, and he's a little bit uncomfortable, but he's on his feet.
Matt Schultz wanted to be able to keep his eyes upfield. He had Terry Godwin running sort of a sail route deep and well beyond the first down marker, but not enough time to let it develop any longer, and you're right. Got a little helmet on the knee there, too. That never feels good.
Pretty low on Schultz. Not much time left in the opening quarter. Tiger Cats lead 6-0. Just 30 seconds to go in quarter number 1. Tiger Cats' most productive quarter 1 of this season. And Schultz had nobody open, decided to run, and he got tripped up. So it's just a gain of a couple on that play. And that will bring out Bailey Flint for the first time as the Tiger Cats have to punt.
Well, Matt was getting up off the ground, immediately talking to the ref and pleading a case for having been tripped. It's hard to see a lot of players out there as he was going.
Flint, high punt. Worthy waits for it, At his own 35, there's flags. He gets to the outside. This is dangerous. Worthy's across midfield, the 50, the 40, the 45. He's got blocking help. He is off to the end zone. It's a punt return touchdown for Chandler Worthy. There are flags.
Well, you know you have no yards at the top of this play against Hamilton, which will be declined. We'll see if there are some others.
Referee Justin McInnes. Tiger Cats at Tim Hortons Field, their fans and listening on the Ticats audio network, hoping that this is against Montreal. There is some discussion. Here's the call.
There's no yards on the play. The player was pushed in. Give a touchdown.
So it is a touchdown. Chandler Worthy, we talked about how dangerous he is. And he brings that back 77 yards for the touchdown. And all of a sudden, the Tiger Cats' lead is gone. It's 6-6 and a convert coming up.
Well, there's the proof with Chandler Worthy. I mean, he caught the edge around to his right side, the far sidelines.
I was about to double the slot, but I was like, no.
From our perspective there, pick up a little audio there on the Montreal sidelines as they're celebrating Chandler Worthy, and rightly so. Yeah, the Ticats, coverage team, that edge it's crucial to capture the field edge.
David Cote out to attempt the 32-yard convert. And the convert is good. So the Tiger Cats led the majority of that first quarter until the end of it. We're through one quarter, and it's Montreal who has the lead. It's Alouettes 7, Tiger Cats 6. We'll be back with the second quarter on the Ticats audio network. Second quarter about to begin. RJ Broadhead, Luke Tasker with you on the Ticats audio network. A very interesting first quarter. Started great for the Tiger Cats. Field goal on their first two drives. Couple of big plays. Matt Schultz finding Tim White, but came close to touchdowns, had to settle for field goals. Montreal gets that punt return touchdown, 77 yards from Chandler Worthy, and that just turned this game upside down. 7-6, Montreal leads after a quarter. David Cote kicks off. Lawrence Woods drifts slowly up to his own 50. Now picks up speed. He's across the 30, and he is knocked down at about the 32, maybe the 33-yard line.
Ticats answering in the return game has not, they've not been able to find any sort of explosives or meaningful returns. Montreal really breaking this game open. There's a lot of encouraging things from that first quarter, though. I mean, you've seen Matt Schultz and Tim White, and you see a Hamilton defense stopping Cody Fajardo.
Tiger Cats settling for field goals, had chances at touchdowns. Those extra points would have come in handy. Now behind for the first time in this game. Schultz throws a strike to Duke Williams. He makes the catch. He's across the 40. Duke's first catch of this evening. His first catch at Tim Hortons Field.
There you go, and great job. I mean, he runs a little stick route and just sits up at 7 yards. And that, the offensive coordinator Tommy Condell just loves to be in something less than 5. You want 2nd and 4, 2nd and 3, and Duke Williams gets his feet right in position for a favorable second down.
Tiger Cats have it. 3 yards to get the first down from their own 42. Matt Schultz taps his right foot. High snap, hauls that in, throws to his right. It's complete at that far sideline. Trying to break free was Tim White. He got the first down, presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling. It was Kabian Ento who was hanging on to Tim White, who was relentless trying to get loose, but could not.
Sindani runs off the field, and Felix Grung-Gauthier comes on. A little bit of a heavier body and a 4-receiver set here on first down. We've seen some variation in this Ticat offense tonight, which has been really fun to watch. In the run game, the pass game, short and long.
Second down target for Tim White. He catches it, converts it. He has 3 catches in the game, 121 yards. Here's a handoff to James Butler. He gets to the outside, ran all the way to this near sideline, spun away, broke a tackle, and wound up running about 35 yards sideways to get about 4 or 5 yards of gain.
Yeah, that's kind of a favorable to for Montreal, that spot. I thought he got a little bit more than that, and it was really hard earned. And that's James Butler. We've been looking to see him make a big difference in the games. And that kind of run, that's a hard-earned run that was all on him.
Yeah,
well done.
You got the sense he might turn that upfield. Ball onto the 53-yard line of the Tiger Cats. It's a 2nd and 6. Schultz passing. He's going deep. Down the far sideline, Duke Williams got tangled up a little bit with Ciante Evans, the former Tiger Cat, and the ball goes incomplete.
Well, we'll get to see Bailey Flint here come out and try to flip this field. It's a good position to pin this Cody Fajardo Montreal offense deep in their own end. We'll see if we get something creative off the foot of Bailey Flint, who can kind of kick it any way he wants to, any style he wants. He's a very creative punter.
Well, Tiger Cats would have known coming into this game you have to stop Chandler Worthy, and they did not last time. He went 77 yards, returned the punt for the touchdown, the only time Bailey Flint has punted in the game. So here's his second punt. Let's see what happens. Worthy standing in front of the goalposts, middle of the field at his own 10. Flint sends it down the middle of the field, and Worthy got to the 20, tried to make a move, and he was stopped right there by Carthel Flowers Lloyd, the special teams tackling leader for the Tiger Cats. Adds another one in there. Montreal's offense coming on the field. They lead by a point. It's 7-6. 12:05 to go in the half. You're listening to the Ticats Audio Network. Beautiful evening in Hamilton. It was raining earlier. Now it's just humid. It's warm in the mid-20s with the humidity. Wind is negligible, about 4 kilometers an hour. Usually at Tim Hortons Field, there's a 0 added behind that 4. So one of the rare games where wind is not a factor. Montreal leads 7-6, under 12 minutes to go, opening half. Alouettes have the football on their own 20. It's a handoff. Standback gets up to the 25, and a flag flew way in the air, and it looks like this will be against Montreal.
Casey Sales, I think, had his jersey held in pursuit here. It was a good run there, too.
Holding Montreal, number 55. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
The hidden yardage.
That's right.
Moves him back 10 yards, but he had a 5-yard gain. Regardless, it'll be from the 10, where Montreal starts now. First and 20. Hamilton's defense would like to come up big. Crowd knows it. They sense this is a big chance to get good field position. Fajardo back to throw over the middle. Oh, it's complete, and a massive hit thrown by Tunde Adeleke. That big hit brought to you by my insurance broker. It was caught by Kashawn Abram, the rookie receiver, and he hung on somehow. Tunde got him good.
He did. You could kind of see this developing from the very start, though. Abram is on the right side to Cody Fajardo, and he's running a deep crossing route. Fajardo puts that ball right over the under coverage. Really smooth timing there.
Some big hits thrown by the Hamilton defense in this game, but the big hit on that play was the first down, the completion. Fajardo throws our ball over to his left. It's another good one. Austin Mack makes the catch, and he'll be a couple of yards short of the first down.
Lawrence Woods in coverage there on the far side corner and wraps up that tackle well after the little hitch route. And it looked for a moment like that receiver's going to break free and get downfield, but sure tackle there by Lawrence Woods in the open field.
Cody Fajardo, he's used just 3 receivers, Julian Grant, Abram, and Mack in this game. This is a handoff, trying to get those 3 yards. I don't think they got it. The handoff went to Jeshrin Antwi, and
we'll see what Montreal's thinking here, because this is exactly where Hamilton had a short yardage situation a couple minutes ago.
Yeah.
And of course they were stopped short on the first attempt, but this is third down.
And it's about 1.5 yards, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little extra, and they're keeping the offense on the field. This is as big as any other kind of turnover. If you get a turnover on downs here, it flips the whole field if this Ticat defense, who's already done it a couple times successfully this year, it's a big play they can make right here.
Ted Laurent, Mo Diallo, Casey Sales, Jagarrett Davis, everybody digging in at the line. And Fajardo gets a big push from behind. And it should be enough. Yes, they're indicating it is a first down. So the Alouettes do get the couple of yards they needed, the 1.5 yards to get the first down on third down.
Well, that big throw by Cody Fajardo to dig them out of that 1st and 20 was huge. And Abram with the catch. Big hit by Tunde Adeleke, but you got to hand it to Montreal to dig themselves out of their end here with another first down around midfield.
Started this drive on their own 20, got pushed back with a penalty, so really started it from their own 10. Now they're up to their own 45. Fajardo back to pass again, has to check it down. It's another completion, stand back out of the backfield. He's tripped up but not knocked down. Jameer Thurman got a piece of him, and finally Lawrence Woods forces him out of bounds, but Stanback got across midfield and into Tiger Cats territory for another Montreal first down.
This is a good drive by Cody Fajardo here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see pressure or even cover 0 from Mark Washington's defense. Right here, you're on the verge of field goal range with this play right here. I'd love to see them tighten this up and bring some heat.
Montreal leads 7-6. Just under 8.5 minutes to go in the half. 1st and 10 from the Hamilton 49. It's a handoff to Antwi, who will get across the 50. Won't be much there, maybe a yard, possibly 2.
Well, great job. Simone Lawrence setting the edge of the defense and getting outside of all these blocks to force that run back into the rest of the Ticats in pursuit.
2nd and 9 for the Alouettes. Crowd trying to do its part at Tim Hortons Field. This is the home opener for the Tiger Cats. Final team in the CFL to have a home game. Fajardo, another completion. It's another first down and more. Austin Mack, he's all alone. The 10, the 5, Montreal, touchdown. Austin Mack and the Alouettes increase their lead to 13-6, and they still have a convert ahead.
Well, you took a chance there and you brought everything and left it cover 0 there, but it was Cody Fajardo that was able to read it, and he quickly got the ball out of his hands. Austin Mack had a huge game in their week 1 against Ottawa. But worse than that, you know, the quarterback finding the answer, there's also a pair of missed tackles there on the way to the end zone, and yeah, you can't afford it. Got to make those 2nd down stops there, forcing field goals and punts.
48-yard touchdown, Cody Fajardo to Austin Mack. And David Cote steps up for the convert. And Montreal is successful. So it's 14-6, Alouettes lead with 7 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the opening half. Tiger Cats will try to get some of those points back when we come back on the Ticats Audio Network. 2nd quarter, 7:17 to go. I'm RJ Broadhead, he's Luke Tasker. The Alouettes have scored 14 unanswered points. Tiger Cats scored on their first 2 drives, a couple of field goals from Mark Leggio, but they haven't scored since. This is big time in the opening half to try to cut into this Alouette lead. Touchdown, 2-point convert, and everything's equal again. East Division, so important to get wins against these opponents. Lawrence Woods catches this kickoff at his own 7, gets across the 25, and he'll be stopped at the 26 or 27-yard line. Montreal's touchdown drive, they went 100 yards, 95 of those through the air, 5 yards rushing, so a very dominant pass attack from Montreal. And they're successful in the touchdown. Matt Schultz, 4 for 11 in this game. 129 yards. There have been some drops, so that statistic not as bad as it initially sounds. Schultz, he's going deep here, looking for Duke Williams, and Duke makes the catch. He's across the Montreal 50. Tiger Cats keep it rolling with an active Green and Ross first down, and Duke points indicating it is a first down. The big plays have been there for the Tiger Cats tonight, though.
Seontae Evans, former Ticat, is in coverage there in his halfback position, and he's really in good position. But Duke Williams is a big body, and he is great at attacking the football in the air and making the play at the moment of the catch. Just does an awesome job there seeing it in.
Third completion of over 30 yards for Matt Schultz. 2 of them to Tim White. This one to Duke Williams was 35 yards. They're on the Montreal 47. Here's a little pitch to Tim White, trying to get to the outside, and that was a full-on sprint to maybe get this back to the line of scrimmage.
It's a tough defense to run that play into. You've kind of got a crisscross motion there, and Tim White spitting out the side, the second man through that motion, and it was at that very play. It's Montreal brings a bunch of pressure. You just got a bunch of guys right in your face there, working hard but to no gain. Still 2nd and 10.
From the Montreal 47, big second down here for the Tiger Cats. They need some more yards to get some more points. They trail 14-6, 5.5 to go in the half. Schultz, he steps back across midfield. The pass is knocked down. It's knocked down by Lawal Uguak, the first-round pick of the Alouettes. And Bailey Flint comes on to punt. Always dangerous punting to Montreal. Chandler Worthy has returned a punt 77 yards for a touchdown in this game. And that really changed the momentum. The Tiger Cats were up 6-0 at that point. That put Montreal ahead, and they've added another touchdown. 8-point lead for the Alouettes. Flint punting from his own 50. Worthy gets it at his own 4, dances to his right, then to his left, tried to go up the sideline, and he steps out of bounds. Looks like they're going to put him at the 9-yard line. So it's a good punt from Bailey Flint, and tough starting field position for Montreal, although they put it in the end zone and started from their 10 on the last drive. We'll see if the Tiger Cats defense can stop them. It's 14-6 with 5:01 to go in the half. This is the Ticats Audio Network. Just over 5 minutes to go until the half. Tiger Cats, they're down by 8, 14-6, Montreal leads. Alouettes playing their second game of the season. They had a bye in week 2. Tiger Cats playing their first home game of the season. Lost their first 2 road games. Montreal begins this drive from their own 11-yard line. So they gave Worthy a couple of extra yards. Fakes the handoff to stand back. Fajardo rolls to his right, and Chris Edwards, a strong tackle, as it'd be a little short of the first down. It was caught by Austin Mack.
Austin Mack's all of a sudden had a big second quarter here for the Alouettes. That Duke Williams, 30-yard reception down the field here turned into a great field position swing, but, no points, unfortunately, on a drive that you were really expecting it.
2nd and 1, and Fajardo under center spins around and falls backwards across the 23. Looks like he'll get to the 24-yard line. That's plenty for the first down. Four minutes to go, opening half. Tiger Cats led 6-0. It's now 14-6 for Montreal. Last season, it was the second half that was a struggle for the Tiger Cats. This season, it's been the first half. Pitch to Keon Julian Grant. He just misses a tackle for Chris Edwards. He's pushed backwards. He's still on his feet. Gets to the 30, and he will be a couple of yards short of the first down. That could have ended up being a lot worse for Montreal. So Julian Grant just kept going and got some positive yardage.
He is sort of a really sneaky, hard to tackle wide receiver there. You've seen a couple times tonight, he can slip through arm tackles pretty well, and he had was totally stopped and made a big second effort there for a few more yards.
2nd and 3, Montreal up to their own 30. Getting close to the 3-minute warning. 8-point lead for the Alouettes. Tiger Cats digging in, trying for a stop. The handoff goes to Jeshwin Antwi, and he won't have enough for the first down. He's going to be in that range again, Luke, that 1.5 2-yard range.
And this looks a little, this is a little closer to 2, and the punt team is coming out for the Alouettes. Great job there, and that was Jameer Thurman who came up and filled that and made a sure tackle. It's exactly what the Ticats needed. Now you benefit. You don't let the Alouettes steal all that field back, and now you're going to give your offense a little bit of a breather here as Lawrence Woods is back, in front of his own 30-yard line.
Lawrence Woods back to return the punt. We are at the 3-minute warning. So the Alouettes lead 14-6. Tiger Cats will get the ball back late in this opening half. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. We thought we might avoid the rain until later in this game, but it is raining at Tim Hortons Field. Will make things a little more interesting. Lawrence Woods back to return the punt. Joseph Zima standing on his own 16-yard line. Lawrence Woods drifts to his left. Coming to this near sideline, just shy of the 30. Gets to the 30, running along the numbers now to the outside, trying to break it. And he gets hit hard just in front of the Hamilton sideline. And Duke Williams there to give a little shove to the Alouette who made that tackle. But the Tiger Cats will begin this drive from their own 43-yard line.
Yeah, it turns out the rain's not a non-factor. I mean, we saw one slip out of Matt Schultz's hands. We've seen a drop. We see guys wiping their hands off. It's always on your mind as a receiver, the moisture on the field and in the air.
Tiger Cats need points late in this opening half. They're down by 8. Matt Schultz, the quarterback. High snap. He hauls it in. Now he's under pressure. Gets the throwaway. Tim White down this near sideline, and he can't catch up to the pass. It's incomplete. There is a flag.
Matt Schultz ended up on the ground again. He's unfortunately taken some shots on some of the deeper throws. Expecting to see this against Montreal in that offensive backfield.
Justin McInnes, the referee. Here's the call.
Roughing the passer, Montreal, number 26, 15-yard penalty, third down.
So that's Tyrese Beverat, and that is a helpful penalty for Hamilton, and fortunately, Matt Schultz is fine.
Well, the Ticats have had 7 first downs so far, and you've got 3 on the big explosive pass plays. You get a penalty there, and then they've earned 3 apart from the explosives, and points in this drive before the half, RJ, is huge.
That moves Hamilton across midfield. There's more penalties here. Now the Tiger Cats have a pretty inexperienced offensive line. Kendrick Sartor, 6'7", 315 pounds.
Hamilton, number 55, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
I think he said 55, which would be Dayton Black, who has a game under his belt.
Yeah.
So a lot of inexperience on that right side of the offensive line. Montreal's taken 3 penalties, 35 yards. Tiger Cats have not taken a penalty after first 2 games of untimely penalties. First and 15 from the 52. It's dumped off to James Butler. He'll get across midfield and pretty close to where the original line of scrimmage was. Looks like he'll be just a yard short at the Montreal 54.
Yeah, tough second down. It really looked like this screen was developing pretty well, and when James Butler caught the ball, he had space, but the Montreal secondary really came up and filled that really quickly. Matt Schultz again with a lot of pressure in his face.
Half of Schultz's completions in this game have been for 35 yards or more. Needs at least 11 for a first down. It is second down from the Montreal 54. Schultz, he is looking deep, and it's intercepted. Ciante Evans running down the far sideline, and diving to make the tackle was Terry Godwin. He was able to track Ciante Evans down, but he brought that back to the Hamilton 30. There is a flag on the field.
Maybe holding. It's sort of in a field place.
Hamilton, number 66. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
There you go.
Returned 37 yards on that interception by Deontay Evans. Tiger Cats fans have seen that. He's off to a great start in Montreal. I think that's his third interception.
And well, it's not to go unnoticed, the back-to-back penalties there as well. That face mask doesn't get declined. It's half the distance to the goal after the play ended. I mean, really another costly play there. And the problem here is first down efficiency. You're stuck in 2nd and 11, so Matt Schultz is kind of forcing this ball in. And yes, he should not do that, but you're trying to make up those 11 yards all at once, and you're taking off more than you should. Compounding mistakes really is what that means, RJ.
Yes. Not a lot of celebration from Deontay Evans. He knows. Classy player.
After review by the command center.
Oh.
After the interception, the player stepped out at the 49-yard line. We have face mask. Hamilton, number 66, sorry. We're going to go up 15 yards. First down.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. So back and forth we go. As it ends up, Montreal gets the ball on the Hamilton 34-yard line. And that is not good news for the Tiger Cats, who trail 14-6, under 2 minutes to go in the half, and Montreal in field goal range right now. They're looking for more. Cody Fajardo trying to orchestrate that. Steps back with an empty backfield, has some time, rolls to his left, throws on the run, wide open receiver down that far sideline. It is Spiker, and he'll take a couple of hits, stay in bounds as long as he can. Finally out at the 5, maybe the 4-yard line of the Tiger Cats.
It's unfortunately sort of watching, a play that we haven't really seen the Ticats been able to work with. And that Cody Fajardo has time, and then as it starts to break down, he moves out of the pocket, still has time, and by with all of those seconds ticking away, the coverages break down, and there's somebody going to be standing alone anytime there's that much time for the quarterback to keep his eyes down the field there, and that's a great job by the Alouettes pass protection up front.
Cole Spiker with that reception on the Hamilton 4, first and goal, lots of time for the Alouettes. And Fajardo wants to keep it, and he dives into the end zone. It's another touchdown for the Alouettes. Third straight game where the Tiger Cats have allowed at least 20 points in the opening half.
Yeah, you're off to that early lead, 6 points after explosive pass plays, but coming up short for touchdowns. Since then, Cody Fajardo, we've seen him drive down the field really successfully 3 times. And, he did so overcoming a few penalties against his own team. A good balance in pass and run from the Alouettes as well.
David Cote trying to add to the Montreal lead, and the convert is good. 21-6. The Alouettes lead with 1:43 to go in the opening half. Another turnover by the Tiger Cats that ends in opponents' points. That's now 8 turnovers on the season and 38 points the opponents have scored off of those turnovers. In fact, every first half turnover has ended in a touchdown for the opponents.
Yeah, that drive, you kind of saw the two-headed dragon, unfortunately, of penalties and turnovers hurting the Ticats. You actually get your first down of that drive with a penalty roughing the passer there, but then you follow up with that with back-to-back penalties on the Tiger Cats and a difficult second down, 2nd and 11. You got to Matt Schultz. You gotta remember when you're in that position, it's hard, and it's hard to do. But you're not going to win every 2nd and 11. You got to take what you can take, and forcing the ball is never the answer. But this is still an offense that's new. Matt Schultz was not the starter 1 week ago, and they're going to have to overcome turnovers in order to win this game.
Cody Fajardo looked really good. He's on a hot streak, 7 for his last 7, 141 yards, and he got the touchdown. Lawrence Woods, this would be a time for a big return. Gets it at his own 10, across the 20 to 30. Following some blockers and runs into the pile. He'll get across the 35 and a couple extra yards after that. Minute 37 to go, opening half. Alouettes have scored 21 unanswered points. Tiger Cats had a field goal on each of their first 2 drives of the game, have not scored since. They'll begin this drive on their own 37-yard line. Schultz, 3 receivers to his left. That's the field side as the Tiger Cats go from right to left. Schultz quickly throws, completes it to Richie Sindani over the middle. That will be a reception of about 6 yards.
Great. I love the play call. You give Matt Schultz a quick answer, get the ball out of his hands quick, and do not put yourself in a long second down position. That's how you got to march down the field, and those wide receivers got to be really well timed on their depth and their ability to secure those difficult tight catches.
Second and a long 3 here for the Tiger Cats from their own 44. Empty backfield for Schultz. Again, gets the snap, throws quickly. It's Tim White. He's open in the middle, tries to make a move. He's across midfield. He gets the first down, presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Again, quick answer, and you get in your playmaker's hands. And man, it looks different when Tim White catches the ball coming across the middle of the field like that. He's just got great quickness turning up after the catch.
Tim White has caught all 5 of the passes that have been targeted at him for 126 yards. Schultz throws another one. It's not complete. Sindani had to dive for it. It was close, but they say he did not make the catch. Under a minute to go now in the opening half. Alouettes 21-6 lead. Tiger Cats would love desperately to dig into that lead before halftime.
Well, you start with battling your way across midfield right here into field goal position.
So 2nd and 10 from the Montreal 53. Schultz stays in the pocket, throws over the middle. It's a high throw. It's caught. Duke Williams jumped up, made the catch. He's down to the Montreal 25. Another big play for the Tiger Cats offense.
What a catch, man. That was awesome. And Matt Schultz could not have threaded that throw any better over top of the defender. And they're getting quick here.
27-yard gain. Tiger Cats keep it rolling with an Active Green and Ross first down. Schultz from the Montreal 26 rolls to his right. There's a completion to Terry Godwin. He was in traffic right away, tried to battle through it, but he'll get a couple of yards on that catch.
Well, here's where you got to calm down right here because you're at it. Yes, it's 2nd and 8. Tough position here, but same lesson. You can't force it. Field goals are fine here. We're still in the first half of this game.
2nd and 8. Ball on the Montreal 24. 30 seconds to go in the half. Schultz with the empty backfield. He's looking end zone. He's going for it along that far side and just off the fingertips of Terry Godwin. It was close, but he couldn't haul it in.
Seemed like a little more than fingertips. I really thought the ball was right there for him. And man, I'll tell you, he's in that deep, literally kind of a darker corner of the end zone there. It's already kind of, you're in the fringes there. And it is, like we've discussed, there is moisture on the football in the air. I thought that was a very, very well-placed throw by Matt Schultz for what would have been a heroic touchdown pass after a drive like that.
Mark Leggio comes on for his 3rd field goal attempt of the opening half. Bailey Flint is the holder, and he's setting up at the Montreal 32. Leggio with the kick, and it's good. So Mark Leggio is 3 for 3. He's accounted for all of the Tiger Cats points in the opening half. It's 21-9, Montreal leading with 18 seconds to go. All 3 of those field goals, Tiger Cats had cracks at the end zone for touchdowns, but they've had to settle for field goals.
Yeah, that was one of the best throws we've seen from Matt Schultz tonight. And we've seen some really spectacular throws. You do got to go back to that catch by Duke Williams, and the combination downfield of Duke Williams And Tim White tonight has just been awesome to watch. That's one of the absolute highlights of this game in the first half here. But finishing drives is now a new conversation, right? You've been down in the scoring zone and have not been able to capitalize.
If Montreal doesn't score in these final 18 seconds, the good news is this is would be the least Hamilton has trailed at the half this season. Game 1 against Winnipeg, they were down 29-4. Game 2 in Toronto, they were down 22-6. They're currently down 21-9. Chandler Worthy catches it at his own 15 at the far numbers. Now he runs toward this near sideline. It's another big return developing, trying to get to the outside. Diving to make the tackle is Carthel Flowers-Lloyd. He's turning into a superstar here on special teams. I think that's his 4th special teams tackle tonight. And he came in leading the team.
Holding Montreal, number 20. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So that flag was on Montreal. .11 seconds to go in the half. And another good return by Chandler Worthy is being pushed back. Where will they stop? The 25, it appears. Montreal leading 21-9, 11 seconds to go, and they'll be pretty content to let this half run out and take a good lead into the locker room at Tim Hortons Field. And that's it. That's the end of the half. 21-9. The Alouettes lead the Tiger Cats. There's been some promising things from the Tiger Cats, including those first 2 drives when they had a 6-0 lead, but Montreal is really taking advantage of their opportunities and maybe a little rust early on after their bye week, but they're playing well now.
Yeah, Cody Fajardo's playing well. He's operating good. I'm impressed with the Montreal secondary as well. They're coming up, filling spaces. They're not making it easy on Matt Schultz. You know, you had one offensive drive with penalties that were costly, but they're flipping the script there as well. We saw they're leading the league, or worst in the league, you should say, with as far as penalties go. They've taken 24 going into this game. It's been better, but the few that they took there were actually really costly and forced that difficult second and long there. Matt Schultz is throwing the ball. I mean, those completions that we've watched there in the first half are very, very encouraging. Of course, you have a really costly interception as well, but I'm overall encouraged by this first half. You are just a few plays and a few inches away from really being in the lead here. Specifically, that last drive there, that could have been a touchdown, and you're going to get some of those. But you've got to come out and really, really press hard in this third quarter. So frequently, especially in Toronto last week, you see the third quarter, you come out behind, and the third quarter just disappears. You know, if you let that get away from you, got to come out and get a jump on this second half and see if you can take a bite back into these points in this deficit quickly.
So we're at the half. Alouettes lead the Tiger Cats 21-9. Tiger Cats at the half, presented by My Insurance Broker with Bubba O'Neill and Andy Fantus, is next on the Ticats Audio Network.
You're listening to Tiger Cats at the half.
I'm on the way. 21-9, the Montreal Alouettes leading the Hamilton Tiger Cats at a misty Tim Hortons Field. It is the home opener. Fans are really, really excited about this one. Bubba O'Neill along with Andy Fantus, and we have had a play, or at least a half of, we talk about explosion plays, and the Tiger Cats have delivered, but unfortunately, the Alouettes have responded and did so in the second half, and the second quarter.
Certainly, the fans have a lot of reason to be excited. It started from the very first play of the game, a nice little bootleg for Matthew Schultz, great blocking, and a nice corner post deep to Tim White, and that's not the only deep pass they've hit to Tim White in that first quarter. They've had the explosive plays. The difference is finishing, and that's really it. I mean, you got 3 field goals instead of 3 touchdowns. the Alouettes had that big punt return, which was pretty much a heartbreaker, and that one turnover. But other than that, you look down the list at the stats, and it feels like the Ticats are outplaying them, and the stats would show so. But the Ticats cannot get Cody Fajardo off the field on those long second down attempts, and he continues to make first downs on plays that you'd normally think would result in punts.
And Fajardo's had quite a half, 10 of 13, 178 yards, and really not doing a lot of work with his legs, but it's his mobility that seems to be a problem for the Tiger Cats. They just can't get that rush, that four-man rush, to get to him.
That's exactly it. I like to see a little more blitz coming in the second half from both the linebackers and even the secondary. The contested deep balls against the Ticats have been pretty even. I think that defense, other than that one slant pass that missed the tackle and went deep, the Ticats defense has been playing all right. But again, you got to get them off the field, and then when the Ticats get down in the red zone, you got to score touchdowns.
And as we talked about in the pregame show, there was an old wily veteran that wore black and gold, Ciante Evans, who's come back to haunt his former team.
Yeah, and isn't it funny how it always seems to work out like that? A player goes to a new team, and just it seems to be that extra bit of a stab in the heart when they make a play, but.
Especially when it ends up costing you points in the end, and we've talked about this all season, and the fact that the turnovers are resulting in points for the other team.
Yeah, that complimentary football. It's a weird thing in football that it happens, but it's real. It is the momentum and that flywheel starts turning, and there you go. It's 21-9. Even though you look at the stat sheet and you think it's even, if not the Ticats in favor, other than that turnover and that punt return.
Let's look towards that second half. What do the Ticats have to do to get themselves back in this game and send the home crowd happy?
Well, they got to get Montreal off the field in those long second down conversions. That's the number one thing, and get some more pressure on Cody Fajardo one way or another. So if that D-line can get there with 4 rushers, great. If not, Mark Washington needs to dial up some more blitzes and put some more pressure on, because he's figuring out a way, and he's getting comfortable in the pocket and like you said, moving around a bit, but figuring out a way to pick apart this defense and could stay on the field. So if they can get Montreal off the field, that'll go a long way, and they'll be fresher because there'll be less plays, and the Ticat offense will have more opportunities to work. Like, you look at Matthew Schultz, 217 yards in that first half.
Outstanding.
Yeah, that's outstanding. And the long plays, the short plays, he's taken a lot of hits. That's the one thing I would say, but you got to give him credit. He's standing in there and delivering the ball.
One of the things the Tiger Cats did last season, which I think was very successful, and they brought back as a program this year, to look back at the past, and something called the Ticats Alumni of Distinction. And who we have this week is someone really special. Like, we've had some Hall of Famers, like just great guys, but generally they're done. Like, they've done their career. For the first time, we have someone where I'm not quite sure his career is quite done. And, number 16, Brandon Banks, like, we are, Speedy B, like I'm telling you, all the years of sticking a microphone in front of you.
Right.
It's great to have this opportunity to talk to you right now on our Tiger Cats broadcast right now. First of all, I know Toronto was a home for a year, but really, welcome home.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, man. It's just been more than what I expected. Everybody's showing me great love, and I'm just having a good time tonight.
Speedy, you were actually a game changer. Like, you changed the game, not just an individual game, but the way the game was called, coached, the players. Like, you're an inspiration to so many people. Because of how you played the game and because of just your physical stature,
right,
quite frankly. How did you get so good? Like, how did, just talk to me. Like, what was your dream, and like, how did it all come about?
Obviously, football was my dream. Obviously, then I have a special talent that I just found that I could use the advantage of, and that's speed. And I think speed kills in the game of football, and I just took advantage of it and learned how to use it. And I learned how to use it in the right ways, and it obviously got me to a great career that I'm having right now. And obviously, I had a little competitive nature in my blood, and I just love to compete. I love to win at anything. simple driving. I hate when people pass me on the highway. Like, I just always want to compete. So, you know, when you put that together, and then when God bless you with a great talent of speed, I mean, you turn out to be Speedy B, I guess.
What does it feel like to be back here in Hamilton and be at the stadium? And I mean, I can't imagine you even got a chance to watch too much of the game because everywhere since I've seen you, just been swarmed by people taking photos. But it's love and it's part of the experience.
Right.
How are you feeling about it?
Like you said, I'm having a great time. It's more than what I expected. I feel the love. I'm thankful for the love, and man, like you said, I watched a couple of plays, but I'm just trying to show everybody my appreciation that they showed me while I was here at my time at the Ticats.
Can you put the pads on for the second half?
Man, I can go right now. I promise you, I can go right now. I always got a pair of cleats in the car.
You know, Brandon, I think of some of the moments that I've been very fortunate that you came here in 2013 and left in 2021. Saw many moments on the field that I thought were just outstanding, may never be duplicated. We look at six-time All-Star, 5 franchise records that you hold right now. There's probably more where you haven't even looked into. But I remember being in what was a converted hockey dressing room. It turned into a moment in Calgary when you were presented with that 2019 MOP award. Describe that moment for you.
Oh man, it was just before that moment. I don't think I ever really received I haven't felt that I really received the love that I was supposed to receive after all the things I've done as far as accomplished, being in the higher levels of NFL, coming to the CFL, and doing the things I was doing. So when that moment happened for me, it was like a lift off my shoulder that finally somebody appreciate the things that a guy like myself do. You know, I'm not like Andy was saying, my stature. I was doing things that 6'2", 95-pound receivers would do. So I was just.
I got to remind people, you're 5'7", 150 pounds.
So I was just happy that somebody realized how good I was, and at the same time, it was an honor. At the same time, a humble honor. And I was just happy that a quarterback didn't have a good year that year.
I'll never forget that moment. I really won't.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It was well-deserved. I think it was one of the more obvious choices in
that
recent
year,
history.
For sure.
Speedy, we're close to wrapping up. What are you doing now? And just tell the fans about what's up.
I'm back home training. I'm a personal trainer, mainly kids. So I want to be there for the youth. You know, the way the world going nowadays, the youth, man, they need guys and positive influence in our life nowadays. So I'm just working on trying to build myself a gym and be a personal trainer and be able to give game back to the younger kids that's coming up and want to have the same dream that I have. So just trying to stay busy and keep my mind occupied.
Brandon, there's people lined up here that want to talk to you. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us here. Enjoy your day. You certainly deserve it. Ticat, great all in all. Speedy B forever, man.
Thanks for having me.
Love you, brother.
Thank you.
Folks, as we get ready for the second half, it's the Tiger Cats down 21-9. Coming up next, RJ and Luke from the broadcast booth. And yes, we are streaming live on the Ticats Audio Network.
Second half of the home opener, the Tiger Cats are in a deficit, trailing Montreal 21-9. The good news is the Tiger Cats have been better in the second half this season. They've scored 5 touchdowns in the second half compared to just 1 in the first half. They only had 3 field goals in this game. So it's 21-9, only a 12-point deficit for the Tiger Cats, and a couple of mistakes that could be spotted in that opening half that, had they not been made, things would have been different, but you can't change the past.
Yep, that's right. And I think the thing that stands out about it is that we're seeing explosive pass plays down the field, and that really suffered in the first 2 games. We didn't see much of that. You know, you gotta make Cody Fajardo uncomfortable in this second half. There's been a lot of times where he's really been able to sit in the pocket and pick apart that Ticat secondary.
So the Tiger Cats kicking off to the Alouettes. Chandler Worthy has a punt return for a touchdown, and that really changed the game. Tiger Cats were up 6-0 at that point, and he might be doing something here to start the second half. He runs to the far sideline and finally pushed out of bounds over at that far sideline by the newest Tiger Cat, Tyreek McAllister, who's been with the team for just 10 days.
Yeah, he showed up on 2 special teams plays tonight, and see if we get to know him a little bit more as the weeks progress. Really good return there. Chandler Worthy making a difference in this game.
Yes.
Obviously the touchdown, but now Cody Fajardo starts in his own 50.
Good starting field position for the Alouettes with a 12-point lead. Cody Fajardo, 178 yards passing in that opening half. 5 different receivers with a catch. The snap is low. Fajardo bobbles it. He's able to pick it up and turn that into a 5-yard gain. He did the baseball slide feet first to get to midfield, and that's turning nothing into something. That could have been big trouble for the Alouettes, but Fajardo was quick, jumped on that loose football. And they'll say he was down after 3 yards. So the ball on the Montreal 53-yard line. It's a 2nd and 7. Opening drive of the second half. Montreal up 21-9. Fajardo throwing over the middle. Oh, it's incomplete. It was dropped. Cole Spiker was open too. He couldn't hang on.
Yeah, just a nice little bending route over top of the middle from right to left. It's a drop by Cody Fajardo from center on the first play and a drop by Spiker on the second play to end the drive. The Ticats are fortunate to get a 2-and-out to start that in this case.
After the Chandler Worthy return, it was good starting field position. First incompletion for Cody Fajardo in his last 8 passes, so that halftime cooled him off. Lawrence Woods standing at his own 5. This is a low punt, a really low punt. It bounces at the 10, the 5, rolls into the end zone, and Lawrence Woods looks up and he will take the knee. So that adds another point to Montreal. It's now 22-9.
Yeah, smart play there. You want to get all the way out to the 40 instead of trying to make something out of nothing and getting stuck deep in your own end.
13:26 to go. The Tiger Cats on their opening drive of the second half. Matt Schultz went 11 for 22, so completing half of his passes for 217 yards.
There might have been a flag we didn't catch. There's all kinds of discussions with the refs. They're on the Montreal sidelines discussing something.
Yeah, Jason Moss speaking with referee Justin McInnes. There is a flag. So let's see what is happening. Here's Justin.
Well, the ball was in flight. We have holding. Hamilton, number 38. Half the distance to the goal. First down. No single point on the play.
Okay, so a lot just happened there. Holding while the ball was in flight. Montreal doesn't get the single. And Hamilton, instead of starting from their 40, is going way back here.
I think it's half the distance from the goal from the point of the infraction, I believe.
Okay.
But obviously I actually never saw a flag fly there. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it was just late or maybe we
I didn't see
missed
it either.
This is much worse for the Ticats. Let's just say that.
Well, it's now starting from their 8-yard line. First possession of the second half, and it's a completion to Tim White, but he turned around and looked, and right in his face was Cabianento, and he did not have anywhere to go.
Well, we saw Tim White with a play like a very similar wide receiver screen way out to the side in Toronto and he got blown up there, and this was very similar to that. It's really tough blocks to make out there, and you're relying on a lot of them to happen.
2nd and 10 from their own 8. Tiger Cats, they have to convert this one. This would be big trouble, field position trouble anyway. And a high pass near sideline intended for Tim White. It's incomplete.
Well, I liked the route. Tim White had a sail all the way to the right, and as he was sort of bending it back, I think Matt Schultz had already released the ball, and just a little bit of a miss there on timing and location. But that would have been a great gain and another one of these big receptions, and unfortunately, boy, punting out of the end zone here, Bailey Flint.
Yeah, and add to it, it's Chandler Worthy returning this football. He's already brought one back 77 yards for a touchdown. This is early second half. Tiger Cats will have to be very good on this coverage, and Flint just got the punt away. It's drifting toward the near sideline, and that's about as good as you can get from Bailey Flint. He gave Chandler Worthy no room to work. He caught it and went out of bounds immediately, just on the Montreal side of midfield.
Well, Chandler Worthy should have let that go out of bounds there, but take a break and head back.
Yes, 21-9. Montreal leads. No scoring yet in the second half. We're in the third quarter. This is the Ticats Audio Network. Home opener for the Tiger Cats. Scored on their first 2 drives, couple of field goals, led 6-0. It's now 21-9. Montreal leading, and they've got good field position again. Their 2 drives to start this second half from their own 50 and their own 54. Trying to keep it on the ground. Williams stand back. He got a yard, maybe half a yard. Richard Leonard, one of the Tiger Cats, in on the tackle.
Really good run stop, and you love to put Cody Fajardo in this 2nd and 9 here. They have dug themselves out of this, though, multiple times in this game. And this Hamilton defense secondary especially needs to take advantage of this difficult second down.
2nd and long for the Alouettes, right at midfield. They need 9 yards. Fajardo, empty backfield, stays in the pocket. The pressure's there. The Tiger Cats finally get to him. It's a quarterback sack. And Malik Carney, Casey Sales, both right there. And the defense celebrating. That's a big play. Again, starting field position for Montreal was excellent, but the defense comes up big.
And they've had it twice now. To start this half after a big kickoff return, they had great field position. Defense came up big, and there's the sack. We've been waiting for that kind of pressure. And that secondary was up in the faces of those receivers. They took away the quick answers.
Joseph Zima on the field. He's the punter for the Alouettes. Lawrence Woods coming way up. That lands at the 30, bounces a couple of times. Lawrence Woods gets it at his own 18, and he's hit hard as he's just short of the 25-yard line. Montreal did a really good job to stay in that 5-yard halo. So the offense coming back on the field for the Tiger Cats after a good stand by the defense. 10.5 to go in the third quarter. It's 21-9 for the Alouettes. This is the Ticats Audio Network. Tiger Cats beginning this drive from their own 24. If we go back, last 12 drives for the Tiger Cats, that's this game and the previous one against Toronto. They've started no further than their own 45-yard line. Not getting that great starting field position. We'll see what they can do from their own 24. Down by 12. Third quarter, still lots of time to go in this football game. Schultz throws to his left. It's complete to Duke Williams. He stops. He was short of the first down. Gets some yards after the catch. He's across the 35, close to the 40. It's a first down. Presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Great job. Man coverage. Matt Schultz picks out Duke Williams, and he does everything he can to get to the sticks. Really tough.
Duke Williams getting close to 100 yards receiving, up to 84 in the game. Now up to their own 40. Ball handed off, and a pile of players. There won't be much there for James Butler, a couple of yards.
Well, I mean, I like the Ticats get that first down and they get right on the ball again and do a no-huddle play. But that first down run average, they've suffered to put themselves in favorable second down positions.
2nd and 8 here for the Tiger Cats. They're on their own 42-yard line. Matt Schultz, the quarterback, has James Butler to his left. Butler will block and now go out as a receiver. It's a low pass. It's caught by Duke Williams. He slid, made the catch. And that was very close. That's a great catch by Duke Williams, who has paint from the Tiger Cat logo all over him right now. But he'll be fine with that. Tiger Cats keep it rolling with an Active Green and Ross first down. No huddle here for the Tiger Cats. Matt Schultz trying to play fast.
Well, they haven't spotted the football yet. Okay, there it is on the Ticat.
Right on the right leg of the Tiger Cat logo. midfield, or just past midfield. There on the Montreal 52. Another throw by Schultz, another completion. This time it's to Keandre Smith, and he's across the 40. It's another first down, presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
This is an exciting drive here. They're moving quick. Matt Schultz is spreading it around. Good to see Keandre Smith get involved there. And Duke Williams, that was a great catch. He was sliding to the ground, paint on his helmet, like you said. Here we go again.
Duke Williams over 100 yards receiving, 102 yards to be exact, and a high pass intended for Terry Godwin. He jumped up and could not make one of his circus catches that time. It's incomplete, and this fast drive stalls.
A little cold water there, and Matt Schultz you could tell he almost worried about getting it batted down again. And now you're stuck with the 2nd and 10, and that's tough. This is a big play here for this offense if they can make this happen. It's not an easy thing to do. Don't turn the ball over. Rule number 1. You are in field goal range. We'll see if somebody can make a spectacular play.
Tiger Cats need points. They're down by 12 on the Montreal 37. Schultz under pressure, stays in the pocket, throws for the end zone, and Tim White just couldn't track it down. Maybe half a foot over his head.
Well, I love it. Take the shot. Give Tim White a chance. He's done it already a few times tonight. It was just a little bit too far. But that pass protection there created an actual, legitimate, picture-perfect pocket for Matt Schultz to sit in and try to connect on a difficult throw. You're going to get a lot of those if you keep on protecting like that and giving Tim White and those receivers a chance. And at least you get your 3 points here.
Mark Leggio, he's hit 3 field goals already. This will be his longest attempt. It's from 44 yards. Leggio steps up. The snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is good. Mark Leggio, 4 for 4. He's done all the scoring for the Tiger Cats, and they creep a little closer to this Montreal lead. It's now 21-12. Alouettes ahead with 7 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. Mark Leggio, 4 field goals in the game for the Tiger Cats, and they're within 9. Lots of time to go in the football game. 7 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Leggio kicking off now. Chandler Worthy, he was moving to his left before the kickoff even came. He read where Leggio was going. He's across the 35, and there's all the Tiger Cats. And Carthel Flowers Lloyd, he's going to be a fan favorite here in Hamilton. He's number 43. He was the last one on the pile and jumped right on top to make sure Chandler Worthy wasn't going any further.
Yeah, he's been all over the field with special teams. He actually reminds me of Tyrese Beverett as a Ticat. He was the guy who was special, who just, when he wasn't able to play defensively as a Ticat, he was out there making all the tackles and special teams. And Carthel Flowers Lloyd, man, he's showing up.
Yeah, he's going to be a star here in Hamilton. You can just sense it. He's all over the football when he's got an opportunity. Just over 6.5 to go. Montreal has the football on their own 36. Handoff goes to Stanback. Tries to sidestep off to his right. He'll get a few yards. The run defense has been better for the Tiger Cats in this game.
Yeah, they have. They've been doing a better job on first down against the run. Really, I've kind of been impressed Montreal's second down efficiency. They've been able to move the chains repeatedly. But the second half, this Ticat defense has really come up big.
Both teams struggling with the running game. Neither team over 30 yards rushing yet. Crowd gets loud. It's a 2nd and 6 from the Montreal 40. Throw off to the right, and it is complete to Cole Spiker. And they're going to say he got the first down. That was close. He was tackled immediately, pulled back, but he had stationed himself in a good spot.
Well, the Alouettes took advantage of a really soft zone shell there, and just with a lot of space underneath to make that pass and to get the yards needed for the first down.
Richard Leonard on the tackle, and just enough for the first down, but it is one for Montreal up to their own 46 now. Wind negligible at Tim Hortons Field. Fajardo gets the snap and immediately completes the pass on the near sideline to Austin Mack. Lawrence Woods makes the tackle, but it's another first down for the Alouettes.
Looked like it was very close to a bobbled or almost dropped pass, and I don't know, this is really close here.
And Lawrence Woods sensed that and tried to pull that ball loose. Now into Hamilton territory on the Tiger Cats' 52-yard line. Wow. Alouettes have been in this spot before. Fajardo going deep. He's got an open receiver. It's complete. It's Keon, Julian Grant, and Richard Leonard drags him down finally at the Hamilton 9. Big play, Alouettes. There is a flag.
8-man rush, cover 0, and you're going to get, and with a completed pass, and you're going to get roughing the passer here as well.
Roughing the passer, Hamilton, number 44. It's half the distance to the goal, first down.
So you got that costly penalty there. That's half the distance to the goal because it was a 45-yard reception there into cover 0. I mean, there was nobody left in the secondary. The Ticats brought everybody. You got to hand it to Montreal. They picked up just about the heaviest blitz you can get and completed the pass. And then, of course, with the penalty, you get an extra little bump of 5 yards there.
So 43 yards, the penalty, and now Montreal is on the Hamilton 5. It's first and goal. Fajardo taps his foot, play action. Oh, he's in trouble. He's trying to scramble, throws, and nobody near it. Throws it where nobody could get it. That was way out of bounds. Malik Carney was chasing Fajardo down. He was in trouble when he faked the handoff to stand back. Nobody bought it for the Tiger Cats. 2nd and 5 from the Hamilton 5. 2nd and goal for the Alouettes.
Big play here to hold them to a field goal.
Yes.
Keep them away from that 1-yard line is really where you need to prevent.
Fajardo gets the snap. Tim Hortons Field gets loud. The pass, it's caught. It's a touchdown. Austin Mack gets the touchdown for the Alouettes. And here's the problem. The Alouettes are getting touchdowns. The Tiger Cats are settling for field goals.
Yeah, Cody Fajardo has just done an unbelievable job of finishing these drives.
4 touchdowns for the Alouettes, 4 field goals for the Tiger Cats. That's easy math.
Of course, you get the special teams touchdown in the first half there for the Alouettes. And you're set up with that interception in the first half from Matt Schultz as well. And they're taking care of business in the score zone.
Austin Mack with his 2nd touchdown of the game. David Cote has not been needed for any field goals, but trying his 4th convert of the game, and he's good again. 28-12, the Alouettes lead. There's 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. We'll be back on the Ticats Audio Network. Tim Hortons Field, it's the home opener for the Tiger Cats. Montreal Alouettes trying to spoil the party. 28-12, they lead the Cats with 3:30 to go in the 3rd quarter. Tiger Cats have to get the offense rolling. They've had 4 field goals. They only have 1 touchdown in their last 19 offensive drives. David Cote kicks off. Lawrence Woods, pretty good spot. Didn't have to move much. Gets it at his 12, and he's full speed right away. Stops as he got to the 30. He was running to his left and then tried to go back to his right, and the Alouettes caught up to him, and he'll get to, looks like about the 31-yard line for the Tiger Cats.
Yeah, really limited success in the return game tonight for Ticats.
Have not had that great starting field position. Alouettes, they have a punt return for a touchdown. That changed the momentum. Tiger Cats were up 6-0 at the time, and that was late in the 1st quarter, and Alouettes wound up leading after the 1st and haven't looked back. now up by 16 points. Still over 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Matt Schultz going to work. Ternowski, Keandre Smith, they're both in motion off to the left. And the pass was intended for James Butler, but it bounced in front of him. It's incomplete.
Mustafa Johnson, I think that's his second pass breakup of the night, and you can tell it's kind of in Matt Schultz's head. They're getting their hands up really well. And that was, of course, easy to say here, but that was really looking great. It was like developing into a nice concept to Matt Schultz's left and, batted down at the line.
Stick with it. 2nd and 10. Ball on the Hamilton 31-yard line. A banged-up offensive line. A lot of inexperience there for the Tiger Cats. Bo Levi Mitchell injured for the home opener. Matt Schultz trying to be the star, and he's going deep again, looking for Tim White. This time, White was tripped up, and there's a flag.
Yeah, we'll see. I was actually a little bit surprised. Looked like an honest trip up at the top of the route.
Wes Sutton, the veteran. Looks like he might be the culprit. Justin McInnes is the referee.
Accidental pass interference. Montreal, number 37. It's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
All right, accidental pass interference. So they moved the ball up too far, actually, initially.
It was an accident.
Well, good thing for the Ticats, though, who are going to luck into a first down there.
Yes. The offense has to sustain this drive. Montreal 4 touchdowns. Hamilton 4 field goals. 1st and 10. Now up at the 40-yard line. Matt Schultz stays in the pocket, throws over the middle. It's too high. Jumping up to try to make the catch was Felix Gauthier. He couldn't.
Tried to do his best Duke Williams impersonation there across the middle.
I thought it was Duke initially doing that jump.
Different body type there, and yeah, tough. Matt Schultz trying to get it over that under coverage, and a second more, and he might have had the ability to let Felix Gauthier clear out to the right, but had to get rid of the football.
Now it's 2nd and 10 from their own 41. Montreal scored a touchdown on their last drive. Tiger Cats would like to answer, and that will go incomplete. And the crowd at Tim Hortons Field restless. They don't like that the Tiger Cats have to punt again.
Yeah, it's a first down, 2nd down, no yards gained. You get the penalty. Another first down, 2nd down, no yards gained. I mean, no rhythm or success on that offensive drive, but at least you have a chance here with Bailey Flint to try to flip the field and hopefully not put this ball directly in the hands of Chandler Worthy.
Worthy has it in his hands now, and a flag flies. Worthy catches it on the near sideline, sprints the whole width of the field, and it's Bailey Flint, the punter, who makes the tackle. Nice tackle by the rookie Bailey Flint, but nice. Flags are all over the place.
Well, I think these are maybe both against Montreal. It was not no yards. It cannot be a no yards penalty against Hamilton, meaning they weren't close to that halo from our perspective, and it's definitely two separate infractions.
So there is a scrum of officials. Referee Justin McInnes getting the call.
Holding, Montreal number 20. The penalty is declined. Holding, Montreal number 84. It's 10-yard penalty, first down.
So yes, both against Montreal, and that'll push them back.
Boy, Chandler Worthy's dangerous. Every time, yeah. It looks like he's going to break it to the outside every single time he touches the ball.
Yeah, that was a good punt by Bailey Flint, angled to this near sideline, and Worthy wastes no time running the width of the field to the far side. And Flint knew that, so smart play by the punter to make that tackle. Montreal has to start the drive from their 11. Play action, Fajardo, and he completes the pass out of the backfield. It's Chandler Worthy, so they're getting him involved on the offense now, too. Worthy gets close to the 25. It's a first down for Montreal.
Well, that's what you need. You need that kind of speed, like a best in the league style return man to make those outside plays work. And boy, it just looks different when he's got the ball.
Kind of like the alumnus of distinction tonight.
You're exactly right.
A return, big play on offense. Montreal up to their own 23 now. Just over a minute to go in the third quarter. Alouettes lead 28-12. Fajardo all kinds of time. Dumps it off, this time to Standback. One-on-one with Chris Edwards. Edwards stains his ground and then gets a little help from his friends to make the tackle.
Great job by Chris Edwards there. Cody Fajardo works all the way from his left, nothing there, all the way back to his right, checks down to Standback, and Chris Edwards so square in the open field, not gonna lose his footing or get out leveraged. Makes a great open field tackle for a loss.
That'll push Montreal back a couple of yards. Chris Edwards is a competitor. 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. 2nd and 12 for the Alouettes from their own 21. Fajardo going back, and he's under pressure. They got him. They bring him down. It's Malik Carney with the sack. That's a loss of 9.
What a great play. Mark Washington he's experimenting. It's two sides of a scale. If you bring that pressure, you're taking people out of that secondary, and there were some options developing deep for Cody Fajardo, and it was a little scary there, but that rush did their job, and that's the risk you take, and you got the reward that time. Well done by the rush for Hamilton Ticats.
Joseph Zima standing a yard in his own end zone to punt the football. Not much wind at Tim Hortons Field tonight for the home opener. Lawrence Woods gets it at his own 50. He's at midfield, and the Alouettes stop him just as he crosses midfield. We're through 3 quarters of play. It'll be good starting field position for the Hamilton offense, and they need to get going. Through 3 quarters, Montreal leads Hamilton 28-12. Fourth quarter is next on the Ticats Audio Network. Fourth quarter at Tim Hortons Field. Tiger Cats need a big comeback in their home opener. Down 28-12. Good starting field position here for the Tiger Cats, though. They'll begin the drive from the Montreal 52-yard line. Now the Tiger Cats, wearing their black tops, gold pants, with the gold numbers, are going from right to left. Matt Schultz calls for the snap. Empty backfield, stays in the pocket. It's incomplete. Threw it between Terry Godwin and Tim White.
I think it was for Terry Godwin, who is the lower receiver, and there's been sort of not a great connection with Terry Godwin and Matt Schultz tonight. They've missed a couple times. Again, you're stuck with this 2nd and 10 that we've seen and struggled with.
6 straight incompletions for Matt Schultz. He has to change that quickly. Maybe right here. 2nd and 10 from the Montreal 52. Empty backfield. We know he's passing. Stays in the pocket. Has time. Throws over the middle. That is complete. It's a big play. Terry Godwin. There's the connection. It is a first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling. Looks like they want to play fast here, Luke.
Here we go. Terry Godwin making that disconnect all right by this point. And yeah, Duke Williams pushing a little bit physical out there now. Here we go.
That was a good throw by Matt Schultz. There was some coverage. Had to be a perfect pass. It was. Now down to the Montreal 25-yard line. Tiger Cats have had to settle for 4 field goals. They need touchdowns. They trail by 16 here in the fourth quarter. Schultz throws a perfect pass, complete to Keandre Smith. Makes the catch. That'll get them about halfway to the first down.
Tyrese Beverett from his will linebacker position, really tight and low on that little Oscar route there from Keandre Smith, and a great job by Smith to get all his depth. So easy to cheat that just to make the throw work. Got all 5.5 there.
So 2nd and 5 now from the Montreal 20. Schultz with time again. Another completion to Terry Godwin. He caught it, immediately darted to his right. He's got enough for the first down, presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling, and that completion puts Matt Schultz over 300 yards passing.
I love that we're seeing Terry Godwin and Matt Schultz connect here, and you've already Duke's in point here. Tim White's had big catches, and if you Keandre Smith and you continue to spread this around, it makes it harder and harder on the Montreal defense.
1st and 10 from the 11. Tiger Cats can get a first down without a touchdown. They need a touchdown. Empty backfield again. Schultz pass behind James Butler. He spun around and caught it. Now he's desperate just to get back to the line of scrimmage, and I don't think he did. A bit of a loss there for the Tiger Cats.
Got the 5 receiver set coming into the game. And you got a challenging second down here. Again, RJ, got a lot of game left here. Number 1 rule, don't give the ball away. That's the number 1 rule of this play right now.
Are we in 3-down territory going for the touchdown? We'll see. Maybe we don't need to know that answer yet. If the Tiger Cats can put this one in the end zone. Matt Schultz under pressure. He's going to have to run. Sprinting to his right, past the 10. Oh, he's hit hard. He is hit hard as he got down to the 5. Coming over and throwing that hit was Najee Murray.
Well, let's see the answer to your question
back
there.
Up.
RJ, is it 3rd down territory? It's a 3rd and 5. I'm actually surprised. They're keeping him on there. It's a 16-point game right now.
Well, you got to take advantage when you're down there, don't you think? Might not get down here. Again, you're on the 5, 3rd down. Got to go for it. They are.
So, okay, this is
interesting. There's a challenge flag here by Orlando Steinauer.
I think it's going to be on a illegal hit on Matt Schultz at the end of this play. It was a there was a lot of contact there. Najee Murray from his stand linebacker spot, I mean, he kind of put a little extra on it at the end there.
Hamilton is challenging the previous play for roughing the passer. Play will be reviewed.
This would be interesting because it really looks like, you know, it was a little more than just your standard football tackle. And I don't know, we'll see. We're getting a slow look at it. It's shoulder pad to helmet. I'll be interested to see how they call this.
So the Tiger Cats are challenging. We'll take a break. 11:13 to go in the 4th quarter. Montreal leads 28-12. Big challenge result coming when we come back on the Ticats Audio Network.
Tiger Cats football.
We're awaiting the challenge result. Referee Justin McInnes, I think he's got the result, so we'll have a listen. Is it roughing the passer on Montreal?
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Hamilton is charged with timeout and cannot challenge for the rest of the game.
Wow.
So Matt Schultz took a hard hit from Najee Murray, and it is not roughing the passer. It was a heavy hit that Schultz took, but he was carrying the ball. He was on the run, so it's 3rd and 4. Big play here. Tiger Cats need a touchdown. Throwing to the end zone intended for Tyler Turnowski, and he ran out of real estate. The ball was just too far. Even if he did make the catch, he would have been out of bounds. And it's a turnover on downs on the Montreal 5.
So maybe we'll come back to that decision here when the game is over. You know, it is hard with a 16-point game. You take 3 there, and then you make it so that you aren't forced to go for two-point conversions after earning touchdowns. So there's still a lot of game to go until that would end up mattering. But your point, RJ, in the break, now Montreal has a very long field to drive.
You have to trust your defense, and that's what the Tiger Cats are doing here. It's a handoff on 1st down. And that's a pretty good 1st down gain for William Standback. Looks like he got 5, maybe 6. 5 yards. That moves them up to the 10. Tim Hortons Field, first game of 2023 tonight, and they want their Tiger Cats to make a comeback. To do that, the defense could use a stop here. It's 2nd and 5. Crowd getting loud. Montreal on their own 10. Cody Fajardo back to pass, and he's under pressure. He's brought down. Another sack. Simone Lawrence was there. So was Ted Laurent. And that is a loss. That pushes Montreal back even further. Looks like they're down at their 2 and they have to punt.
What a play. Ted Laurent, this is his 11th year in the league, and in this third game, he's getting his second sack of the season. I mean, that's pretty impressive from that guy, and what a meaningful place to do that on the field. And at this point in the fourth quarter, this is really a big opportunity for a return and for Matt Schultz to repeat some of the success throwing in that last drive.
So the gamble would have been nice to get the touchdown. They couldn't do it. Zima punts it. Lawrence Woods drifting to that far sideline. It bounces a couple of times and goes out of bounds. Ball goes out of bounds at the 50. So that's where the Tiger Cats will start this drive. They need touchdowns, and the clock is not their friend right now. 9 minutes, 9 seconds to go. Montreal leads 28-12. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. 9 minutes and 9 seconds. That's all that remains in the home opener for the Tiger Cats. The Alouettes, coming off that bye, they beat Ottawa in week 1. Montreal trying for back-to-back wins against East Division opponents. Those interdivision victories are so important. Tiger Cats will have to come up with something here. Not a lot of time to go. They're down by 16. They had a chance to score on the last drive. They could not. Defense did its job. Matt Schultz completes the pass over the middle to Tim White. He was in traffic, took a couple of hard hits, hung on to the football, and a pretty good gain on first down. Looks like a 7-yard reception.
Big hit by Avery Williams, the middle linebacker for the Alouettes, and Terry Godwin showing up all of a sudden.
Now 2nd and 3 from the Montreal 43. The rain is falling at Tim Hortons Field. We figured it would hit some point of the fourth quarter. Handoff James Butler. Haven't seen a lot of him, and he needed 3 yards. Looks like he's short. And not a favorable spot. It's going to be a full yard short. 3rd and 1. And Tiger Cats down by 16, 28-12, 8 minutes to go. The clock is running. So under 8 minutes now. It'll be 3rd down, and Hamilton has to go for it. Matt Schultz under center. Actually, it's Taylor Powell. And he will dive ahead. If he got it, not by much, but there is a flag.
Well, I think it's James Butler who, in this short yardage situation, is lined up like a tight end, and I think he jumped. And false start here.
Procedure, Hamilton, number 9. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Well, good eyes, Luke, but that's not good for the Tiger Cats.
No, and Matt Schultz ran back onto the field, so they're going to give it a shot here, 3rd and 6. I guess it's go time on 3rd down.
7.5 minutes to go. Down by 16. This is huge point in the football game. If the Tiger Cats are going to come back, they need to convert. 3rd and 6 from the Montreal 46. Matt Schultz, empty backfield, looks to pass to his right. It's picked off. It's picked off by Wes Sutton, and he's going down the sideline. It is a pick 6. Wes Sutton scores the touchdown on the interception. And Montreal increases their lead. A 70-yard pick 6 for Wes Sutton. And it is now 34-12 with another convert coming up for Montreal.
Well, kind of very similar to the interception in the first half. Going the same way on the field to the far, it's a throw to the far right side of Matt Schultz, and it takes a long time for the football to get out there. First half interception, you had a 2nd and 11. In this second half, it was a 3rd and 6. You're both, you know, it's a must throw situation, and forced into a bad place.
5th touchdown of the game for the Alouettes. David Cote attempting his 5th convert. It's a high snap brought down by Joseph Zima, and Cote is successful with the convert. 35-12. Montreal now leads the Tiger Cats, and there's under 7 minutes to go in the football game. We'll be back on the Ticats Audio Network. Back at Tim Hortons Field, the rain is coming down heavily now. So a lot of the fans have gone to the concourse, put on their yellow ponchos. 6 minutes, 58 seconds to go in the football game. Maybe some have decided to head out. You can now see the exits are pretty consistently flowing with spectators leaving. 35-12, Montreal leads. Lawrence Woods gets it at his own 10, gets across the 30, the 35, and then brought down. It was actually Tyreek McAllister, so they're giving him a chance at some returns. Newcomer spent some time with the Denver Broncos, listed as a receiver/running back. So a versatile player. He's really stood out in practice, and that was a pretty good return by McAllister.
Good speed. You could kind of tell right off the bat. He caught that and got going. And RJ, this is the heaviest we've seen the rain all day, unfortunately. The Ticats have an uphill battle here in these last 6.5 minutes.
Yeah, it's sort of a metaphor with how the game has gone. Kind of depressing. And there's a knockdown for Montreal. And they seem to be reading Matt Schultz pretty well right now. Avery Williams right there. 5th pass knockdown for Montreal tonight. And they've had a couple of picks too. Under 6.5 minutes to go. 2nd and 10 here for the Tiger Cats. They're on their own 37-yard line. Come back in the rain. Can it happen? Schultz throwing. It's a high pass, and it's off the fingertips of Tim White. He had to jump up to get his fingertips on it, and it went incomplete. And Tiger Cats will punt.
Yeah, of course, your game plan gets more aggressive here, and that means lower probability. And that was if it would have been a reception, a spectacular one into a lot of coverage.
Bailey Flint gets the punt high into the rain. Chandler Worthy tried to make a move, and look who's there. Carthel Flowers Lloyd.
He's having a world-class special teams game tonight. I know that's kind of going to get swept under the rug in
Yep.
what's been a difficult game on the scoreboard here, but man, it should not go unsaid the difference he's making in these coverage units.
Yeah, Carthel Flowers Lloyd is going to find a way to get into this defense on a regular basis at some point. First time since the final 3 regular season games of 2018 that Hamilton has allowed 30 or more points in 3 straight games. Pass comes to the near side. It's another completion for Montreal. Lawrence Woods holding on to the football, trying to pull it loose. Could not do it. And that ends up in a gain of about 7 yards on that catch.
Right in the Montreal bench is all the noise you hear. That tackle right into the Montreal team standing on their sidelines. And Julian Grant, man, he is difficult to tackle. That was a wide receiver screen that looked like maybe it was going to get kind of shut down for a 1-yard gain. Looks like they're probably at a 2nd and 2 here.
Julian Grant listed at 6'1", 214 pounds, but you're right, Luke. He's had a couple of catches where they've had to blow the whistle because his forward momentum has stopped. He wasn't able to be brought down. 2nd and 3 for the Alouettes from their 33. Cody Fajardo still in the game, hands it off to Williams, stand back, and he breaks through for a first down. He's across the Montreal 40, one of his best runs of this game. Should be a heavy dose of the run game here for the Alouettes with a 23-point lead. 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go. The clock is running. Fresh set of downs for the Alouettes. They're on their own 41. The rain is falling at Tim Hortons Field. Handoff again to stand back. Another big run. He's across midfield. He's across the 50, the 45. Kenneth George tries to bring him down. He can't bring him down, but does force him out of bounds, and that is a huge run that statistically is not going to help the Ticats run defense.
Yeah, it's a good point, RJ, because there's been moments where the run defense tonight has been good, but two really big, nice gains by Stanbeck there, and a couple, missed tackles or near missed tackles there by the Ticats.
That'll bring the Alouettes down to the Hamilton 30-yard line. Stanbeck on the sidelines. The Alouettes are using towels to dry off his arms. Yeah. Very important for running backs.
There are so many things that precipitation changes about the way you think about the game, from your receiver hands, the arms, the jerseys. You go to block somebody and then you're worried your gloves are all wet. It's all in your head.
First 7 carries for Stanbeck, he managed just 28 yards. That last carry was for 40 yards. And I'm guessing he's getting the football here if they were drying off his arms on the sidelines. They're down to the Hamilton 29. It is to Stanbeck. And this time, not much. So the clock is running. We're getting close to the 3-minute warning. The stands at Tim Hortons Field are near empty. A couple of reasons for that. The rain is falling and the score doesn't help. 35-12, Montreal leads. Alouettes close to improving to 2-0, and the Tiger Cats dropping to 0-3. They've got a bye week next week. Try to figure some things out. There's a flag, and it's a time count violation.
Time count violation. Montreal, number 7, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Well, Fajardo kind of lost track of what he was doing there, but man, apart from that, they have really eaten up some clock on this drive with a methodical march down the field.
This will likely be the last play before the 3-minute warning. Fajardo under pressure. Simone Lawrence, Chris Edwards both there, and he able to dump it off to Stanbeck, who gets down inside the 10. Finally tackled by Casey Sales. And we are at the 3-minute warning. 2 minutes, 58 seconds to go. Montreal will have a 1st and goal when we come back. They've already scored 5 touchdowns and lead 35-12. We'll be back with the conclusion of this one on the Ticats Audio Network. 2 minutes, 58 seconds to go. Montreal very close to more points. 35-12, they lead. Tiger Cats lost their first 2 games, 2 tough places to play in Winnipeg and in Toronto. This is already the 2nd most points they've given up. They gave up 42 against Winnipeg in game 1. Fajardo, 1st and goal from the Hamilton 9. Play action, throws over the middle. It's incomplete. Intended for Keon Julian Grant. Dexter Lawson in on the coverage. Tiger Cats scored 31 points in that first loss, then dropped to 14 against Toronto. Now they only have 12 in this game. That's going the wrong way. Cody Fajardo, 2nd and goal from the 9, and another flag.
Offside, Montreal, number 11. 5-yard penalty, remains, 2nd down.
A couple of penalties on the Alouettes on this drive. So the ball gets moved to the Hamilton 14-yard line. Fajardo taps his foot, fakes the handoff. The pass is complete. George Jr., Simone Lawrence, Dexter Lawson, Stavros Katsantonis all right there to tackle Abram. And he'll be down at the 10. And And that brings out the field goal team for Montreal.
Well, we'll see. As a Ticat, you've got to finish well. Even though the score's out of reach, you've got to finish well. You're early in the season, and I remember games like this where they'll watch and talk about these reps in film because it matters. You know, you got to be great no matter what's at stake here.
David Cote, 5 converts in this game. He's got a 15-yard field goal attempt, and that's good. That was about half the distance of all of his converts. So another field goal added to Montreal's total. Now it's 38-12 with 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. And this is exactly what you're talking about, Luke, where the offense needs to get something positive here. Unlikely comeback, but positivity is important going into a bye week.
Now, for one, put another good return rep out here. You know, it was kind of a pretty uneventful return game for the Ticats, and go get another rep right here, see what you can do. That offense needs to come out here and correct some of the things. I mean, Matt Schultz threw for over 200 yards in the first half. You know, a costly interception in both the first and the second half, but there were some really bright spots in the passing game tonight, and you use these last 2 minutes, you stay healthy, but you really try to put some good things on film.
Tim White, 143 yards receiving. Duke Williams, 102. Tim White close to a career-high game receiving, but you know he wants to win. Here's Lawrence Woods trying for that big return. Ran to his right when he got to the 30, and the Alouettes are able to bring him down.
Well, one of the biggest differences was both these offenses in the score zone tonight. You have Montreal, who just capitalized repeatedly. Now that 4-minute drive right there ended with a field goal after a penalty by Montreal. Short before that, you've got Cody Fajardo just ending everything in the end zone. The Ticats were down there. You know, they put some good productive drives together, but they did not finish them in the end zone.
4 field goals for the Tiger Cats and 5 touchdowns for the Alouettes. Tiger Cats led this game 6-0. It's 38-12 with under 2 minutes to go. Matt Schultz with a completion for about 6 yards.
That last drive on Montreal was the only time they've been in the score zone and settled for a field goal. The Ticats were 0 for 2 touchdowns in the red zone.
2nd and 4 here for Matt Schultz from the 36. And that is complete. Needed to get across the 40. Terry Godwin made the catch. Believe his forward momentum will be enough to get the first down.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to give him the first down.
So it is a first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling. Minute 38 remaining. The clock is running. Tiger Cats now up to their own 41-yard line. Matt Schultz looks to his right, completes the pass over to that side. Terry Godwin again. He'll be across the 45, maybe to the 47-yard line. Alouettes, they're happy to give Tiger Cats those 6 or 7 yards. They're up by 26 points. Just over a minute to go in the game. Matt Schultz, another short pass, another completion. James Butler breaks a tackle, gets across midfield, and goes out of bounds just inside Montreal territory. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling with an Active Green and Ross first down.
Well, of course, you got something of a prevent defense in place here, but you know, it's not like Matt Schultz is taking a ton of time in that pocket. I mean, he's getting the ball out quick. I mean, it looks good. You know, sometimes in this game there's been, you know, not enough answers for Matt Schultz quickly.
Ball just on Montreal's side of midfield. Matt Schultz under pressure. They get to him. He is sacked. And this Montreal defense is relentless. A couple of interceptions. Mustafa Johnson gets the quarterback sack.
Yeah, standard, four-man rush, and just collapsed really quickly on Matt Schiltz.
Ball on the 48 now on Hamilton's side. So a 2nd and 18. Schiltz throws. It's complete, but a long way to go here for Terry Godwin if he wants to get the first down. Gets back to midfield, maybe to the 43-yard line. 38-12. 4 field goals is what the Tiger Cats have managed offensively. In the last 2 games in the CFL, the losing team failed to score a touchdown. Winnipeg 6 points last night. Hamilton 12 points tonight. Matt Schiltz under pressure. He's hit as he throws, and this is behind the line of scrimmage. James Butler goes to pick it up. He's back at his own 40, gets up to the 45. And a little aggressive there by Montreal with a big lead. Kabian Ento, the rookie. James Butler didn't appreciate that. So that was 3rd down. That's another turnover. That one on downs.
Thought James Butler was maybe going to have the smarts to try to throw that ball. Actually, it was a fumble, and because it was fumbled, but it was a pass play. There was receivers standing by themselves 30 yards deep, but
would have been the time to try it.
Oh, I know. I love it. It would have, but everything breaking down, and of course that's a sort of cheeky thing to say there.
Well,
exactly a normal play.
The mentality is get that football back, and that's what James Butler did. But it would have been exciting had he tried to throw it.
I would have appreciated it.
Cody Fajardo takes a knee, and the Montreal Alouettes did their homework. They had the bye week, watched the Tiger Cats play against Toronto last week, and came in here despite falling down 6-0. Tiger Cats scored field goals on their first 2 possessions. Chris Edwards just took a run at Austin Mack. Chris Edwards looked like he was walking up to him to maybe shake hands, and then aggressively went after him. And it was, looked like an apparent handshake, and then Chris Edwards pushes Mack down.
Well, he's going to get more than a slap on the wrist for that. We'll see what comes in the days to follow regarding that, but that was a blatant, and really, poor decision there by Chris Edwards. And I know Orlando Steinauer well, and that's not going to go over very well.
You can understand the frustration, but that still can't be done. The game was over, and Chris Edwards, who's been a key contributor on this defense.
Yeah, he's played very well in the first 3 games. Yes. He's been a bright spot on the field. Of course, his career has sort of unfortunately had a few of these types of instances in them. But yeah, that one was just too obvious. Yeah.
Time now for the Access Storage recap of the game. Score a touchdown with affordable storage. Access Storage has flexible storage solutions at a store near you. Try 4 weeks free. Details at accessstorage.ca. Luke, 0-2 on the road against the 2 teams who played for the Grey Cup, Winnipeg and Toronto. Those losses, a lot of teams will go in there and lose, although BC made a pretty big statement last night winning in Winnipeg. Losing at home, big, to Montreal, 38-12. Are you surprised that it was such a big loss to the Alouettes?
Well, you can still pretty easily point out some things that went wrong. The flip side of that statement is, if you change A, B, and C, this game looks entirely different. So starts for me with capitalizing and finishing drives, red zone efficiency, turning some 3s into 7s. That's where you start. Also, you gave up a defensive and special teams touchdown in this game. Really, really tough to overcome that. The special teams battle specifically, I thought Montreal really had the upper hand tonight in the return game, in the volleying of field position. I thought they did a great job. Chandler Worthy, of course, he's going to be a weapon in every single football game he's in, and he certainly played an important role tonight. Turnovers were costly. Points off of both turnovers, obviously one immediately with an interception for a touchdown, but a touchdown came off of the previous interception as well. Yeah, you've got some things. You got some things to figure out. I think that they really did turn a page in the penalties, and that was one of the storylines we talked about coming into this week. That was one of the things we wanted to see them change. But you've got a long list. You got a long list as well. And unfortunately, that scene at the end of the game there with Chris Edwards, it's sort of telling. It's almost a sort of picture of sort of the frustration of the whole team. And man, I feel for Orlando Steinauer, just knowing how seriously he's going to take that type of decision on the field.
0-3 start for the Tiger Cats. It is a bye week. Is it a good time for the bye?
Boy, I hate to say this, but not really.
Yeah.
I don't know. You kind of want to get right back into the meeting room and start working on some things. It's a tough week to go on by there, but you've got to take advantage of it physically. You can, of course, you're going to let that work to your advantage and try to get as many guys healthy who are struggling with injuries. But the team. It is a long season. That's sort of the bright spot here. You're turning some things around in the passing game. The defense did show signs they were strong against the run earlier in the game. You gotta keep forcing turnovers from your opponents. That's not something the Ticats have done well so far. But it is a long CFL season. A lot of games to play. You got to get the right people in the right spots and make these adjustments.
Getting healthy is important, like you said, and we'll see what the Tiger Cats do. A bye week, then they've got Ottawa out of the bye week at Tim Hortons Field in Edmonton, and the Elks have struggled at home, and then a home game against Toronto, and we're at the 1/3 point of the season, and that will be interesting to evaluate. The first 3 games have not gone well for the Tiger Cats. They're 0-3 after losing to Montreal in their home opener 38-12 tonight. Tiger Cats postgame with Bubba O'Neill and Andy Fantuz is coming up next. For our statistician, Jeff Girardat, Jake Varco, our producer, Michael Steyer, our operator, and Luke Tasker, I'm RJ Broadhead. Thanks for listening to Hamilton Tiger Cats football on the Ticats Audio Network.
Streaming live at listen.ticats.ca. This is the Ticats Audio Network.